Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is Tawanda, and I'm the Migraine Crafting Diva. And on this channel, I do decorating on a budget, DIYs, and hauls with a sprinkle of migraine enlightenment. And today's DIYs are all going to be nativity scene DIYs. So we're going to go ahead and get started with today's DIYs because we're doing Christmas in July, and what way to start off with the reason for the season, Jesus. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So for DIY number one, I have this candle holder that I purchased from the thrift store probably like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was actually going to get rid of it because I didn't like the color of it. I didn't like the cream and the gold. I paid $2.99 for it, but I believe I actually got 50% off of it, so I think I paid $1.50 for it. So what I decided to do is just take some Rust-Oleum flat black paint with primer, and I'm just going to go ahead and give it 3 coats. And then once I have that done, then I'll go ahead and also give it a clear coat of the Rust-Oleum clear coat. So this candle holder has Jesus in a manger, Mary and Joseph, the 3 wise men, an angel, and some farm animals on it. But so here I am just spray painting it all black. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add a candle to it. And that is going to be it for this DIY. And just spray painting it, the flat black, just made it look so much better. So yeah, I can't wait to use this for Christmas. Let me know what you think. And this is the finished product after 3 coats of the flat black paint and the clear coat. And here I'm just adding a candle, and I absolutely love it. Look at it, it is so cute. So we're going to move on to DIY number 2. I have this stencil. It says, "Oh Holy Night." My friend Michelle brought a pack of stencils for me for Christmas. And I have this Rust-Oleum frosted glass. I have a picture frame from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take the stencil and place it onto the glass. I cleaned the glass before I put the stencil on it. I'm just going to tape it to it. And then I'm going to take it outside and give it 3 coats of the frosted glass. So here I am just showing you that I'm just trying to get it lined up how I want it, and then I'll go ahead and just take some masking tape and just go ahead and tape it to the glass. And then I'm going to go ahead and take it outside once I have that done, and I'm going to give it the 3 coats of the frosted glass. So I live in Florida, and it dried pretty quick, but I didn't like the way that it dried, so I ended up going back and adding some spray painting on top of it with some of the mirror paint. The mirror spray paint. But I only did 1 coat because it started to rain, so it went from really hot and sunny to rainy. So I gave it 1 coat of the mirror spray paint, and here I'm just showing you. This is what it looked like before. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it use the mirror effects spray paint on it. And this is what it looked like after I did that. So it did make a difference. So, and I actually do like the way that it came out. I do have a couple of little spots in those areas. So what I ended up doing was taking a paper towel with some of the Dawn Power Wash, and I just used that to get those to get those spots off of the glass. And then I just went ahead and put it back into the frame, and that was it for this DIY. And I also gave it a clear coat. So yeah, and I think it came out so nice. And those stencils, I believe she ordered those from Amazon, but I'll have to check and see. But the pack of stencils is so nice. So moving on, we have DIY number 3 here, and I have some Crayola black chalk paint, and then I have my Waverly antique chalk paint and some scrap fabric that I had, and then I have an embroidery ring, and the ring I paid $2 for. So I'm going to just start off by using the Waverly antique wax on it on both sides, and then I'm going to mix the Waverly antique wax in the black and just kind of put it all over the embroidery hoop. And then once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and tape my stencil onto my fabric, and I'm going to use the black chalk paint to stencil the nativity scene onto the fabric. So originally when I first made this video, I actually ran out of space on my SD card, and then I recorded the rest of it on another card, and it would not download to my computer. So I'm going to show you how I did it, but it's just going to be on a different piece of fabric, but it's going to be the same technique. I basically just taped the stencil onto the fabric, and then I just just lightly dab the paint onto the stencil. I just kind of did like a dry kind of stencil so that it wouldn't run. I wanted to use some spray adhesive so that it would actually stick to the fabric, but I couldn't find it, so that's what I ended up doing, and you'll see me doing that here in a little bit here. So here I'm just finishing up putting the Waverly antique wax and the black paint all over the hoop, the embroidery hoop. And then yeah, and I have the antique wax and the black chalk paint everywhere, you can see here. When I was finished with this, I did take some of that Dawn Power Wash and a little bit of water and a paper towel, and I sprayed it all over, and then I used a wet paper towel, and it all came right off. So yeah. So here's my stencil, and here I am taping it down to the fabric. And once I have it taped down to the fabric, I'm just going to take one of those little Doppler and like I said, I'm going to dry brush and just lightly tap the paint onto the fabric, because I don't want it to run and I don't want it to be too thick, but I do want you to be able to see the nativity scene. So here I'm just showing you how I did it. And I went over it twice with the paint. So now that I've gone over it twice, I'm going to go ahead and remove the stencil. The first one I did, I actually used a blow dryer and blow dried it just a little bit before I removed it, but this one I just went ahead and removed it, and it came out fine. And look at how good it looks. I can't wait for you to see how it all turned out. It is so nice. It's so cute. So this is the first one that I did. So I already have it in the hoop, and I'm going to go ahead and that is that is a piece of my miter shear that broke when I was trying to cut something, but now I'm just using the blade to cut excess fabric, which it works really good. So if yours ever break, or if you need a razor blade, it works really good cutting that excess fabric, and it just turned out so nice. I love it. And we are moving on to our last and final DIY number 4. Here I have this like coat hook. I think it's like a coat hook, excuse me. And I purchased it from Dollar General probably a year or a year and a half ago. It was on clearance. It was 90% off. I think I ended up paying like $1.50 for it. One of the hooks was already coming off. It only had like one screw in it. So here I'm just taking the other screws off and taking the hooks off. And then once I have that done, I took 2 more stencils from the stencil pack that I have. Here I'm just trying to make sure that I have space and how I'm going to put the stencils on. So here I am just trying to figure out how I'm going to use the stencils. So this side I'm going to put Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. And then the other side I'm going to put the 3 wise men. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out proper placement. And then once I have it like I want it, I'm going to go ahead and tape the stencils down. And then I'll go ahead and use the same technique. And on this one, I went a little too heavy with the paint. I actually did this one before I did the nativity scene on the fabric, and I it went a little too heavy, but I think it still came out nice. So here I'm just going to tape down my stencils, and then I'm going to go ahead and start using the black paint, the black chalk, the black Krylon chalk paint to I'll go ahead and start dabbing that onto the coat hook or coat hanger. And I just want to say that if you're going to use stencils, make sure that when you're using them that you try and have them as flat and as tight as possible, so that it'll prevent as much bleed through as possible. So that's how I like to do my stencils. I try and make them as tight as possible so that I don't have a lot of bleed through. And I like to use a light amount of paint, but for some reason I just kind of went a little overboard on this one. But like I said earlier, it still turned out fine. So yeah, let me know what you think. So here I'm just dabbing the black chalk paint onto the stencil, and I'm going to use my hair dryer to just dry it just a little bit after it's after I'm done using the paint on it. And then I'm going to go ahead and screw the hooks back onto it. And I'm going to give it, I'm also going to spray it with the Krylon, the clear Krylon, so that it stays on the board. Now I did get some paint in one of the areas on the board, and I just took some sanding block, excuse me, and then sanded it, and I sanded it right off, and it came off no issues. And I would just like to say, what better way to kick off Christmas in July with a celebration of Jesus and with using the nativity scene. And I absolutely love all of these DIYs. They are all my favorite, and I cannot wait to be able to display these DIYs in my home for Christmas. In the comments, let me know which one is your favorite. So here I am just putting the hooks back onto the board, and see there's a little black spot there, so I'm just going to take the sanding block and just sand that off, and that is going to be it for this video. So if you like what I am doing, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for continuing to watch my channel. And like I always say, be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed Sunday, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.